Good morning everyone, I'm Ian from DIY Home and Gardening. It's just coming up to 7 o'clock in the morning and I'm at the allotment sitting in front of the elephant garlic. And my job this morning is to lift it. So, should we turn the camera around and have a look? Now today is a rather special day. One, it's raining, but two, it's time to lift the elephant garlic. And I've been waiting for this for quite some time because, well, quite frankly, I love elephant garlic and also I need the space. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see some of the sizing, certainly on those ones. And then these ones, well, we'll kind of have a look. Now, it's worth always pointing out that elephant garlic is not garlic. It's not a true garlic. It's actually closer related to a leek. So it is a perennial, and therefore you can grow it differently. So there's still a lot of people that grow it as a 1-year crop, and that is fine. If you plant it and you grow it for 1 year, that's kind of how it looks, and that's what I'd class as a round. It also produces some little corms around the base, which I'll just pop into there. So these smaller plants here are 1-year-olds. I've lifted a few of them. We've been eating some of those. And typically what I do is I'll lift my 1-year-olds, store them, and then I'll replant those. And they then obviously become a second planted year or 2-year-old plant, and you get something quite different. So how do we know when elephant garlic is ready to harvest? Well, it exhibits some of the same signs as garlic and onions do, where it can collapse right at the neck. More often than not, it will just develop a good lean, but also it has the telltale signs of the foliage, and it's really the foliage that I go by, where you end up with probably about 50% of the leaves have started discolouring, going to this washed out green or yellow. And you'll also notice these stalks that remain, and that is because elephant garlic will also produce a flowering spike or a scape, which are edible, or they produce really nice, quite big flowers. So having established that it's got all the telltale signs for harvesting, now is the time that I'm going to harvest. So I'll set the camera up and show you lifting on, lifting. Let's go. Okay, let's get the gloves on. It's early morning, don't want to be having hands that smell of garlic all day long. So if you watch my other videos, you know this is my go-to fork, border fork. Narrow neck, short tines, closely positioned, and it's really good for going in narrow spaces. Now with elephant garlic, because they're nature, they can get pretty big, so I always start a good few inches away. And again, because of how you plant elephant garlic, typically you plant the bulb about 3 or 4 inches deep, so go down obviously more than that. So I typically go the full depth of the tines, lift the bulb, and that's the first one. So that is a round, because no real surprises, it is round and got no segments or division. And then I have my trusty jam jar, which I then just pop the corms, because otherwise they drop off. I'll just pop the corms into there, hang on to them, and the corms you can plant again yourself. Again, normally what I do with those is I start these in the cell tray, because quite frankly if you plant them in the normal bed, they tend to rot. So let's pop that one from the other day in there. Ordinarily I'd like to be doing the lifting when it's dry, and so I had plans that obviously I'd be doing it today, and the forecast was not showing any rain for us, and we haven't had rain for weeks. But it's typical that the day I go to do it, it's wet. So this one is actually falling apart. Let's grab the corms so I don't lose those. And basically this one should have started segmenting into its individual cloves there, so the bulb has collapsed at the neck, so something must have got into that, but we can separate that out, and let's show you so that's the size of one of the cloves off an elephant garlic. Let's whip these few out. Whip these out and then show you onto the second year ones. Now, nice little ones. Right, just do this last one and then show you the difference. So they're the 1-year-old plants, and you can see there's some massive differences in size between something like that and obviously something like that, and that is starting to show division into forming individual cloves. Even better though, there's a hell of a lot of these corms. Now, as I said earlier, these corms, I like to start these off into some seed trays, and if you start them now, and I know it seems ridiculously early, but if you start them now, let's tip them out and show you, then they have this nice soft outer coating which peels off really easily. If you wait until the autumn time, well, actually the skin on the outer bit has gone really hard, and it becomes a bit of a job. There's the older ones. It becomes a bit of a job to then peel that skin off, and it's only by peeling that skin off that they tend to, well, sprout quite readily. When they're hardened, they take a lot longer to get going, but that is a really easy way to bulk up your numbers, and most of the time they'd be connected to the bulb, but it's always worth having a little look in the bottom of the planting hole just to see if they've fallen off when you've pulled them out. So yeah, that is a 1-year-old round, and if you plant that again, you'll get to your 2-year-old, which we'll see the difference in a sec, and then the 2-year-old will then give you cloves for planting, but that'll be apparent once I lift one, so bear with. Now, 2-year-old plants, potential for being bigger, start slightly further away, get right down, and you might need to work your way around a little bit. Now the thing is you want to get right underneath, so you're not putting loads of pressure on the bulb when you're lifting. And that, my friends, is a 2-year-old bulb. That's a proper elephant garlic there. And let me show you the difference. So let's take the biggest 1-year-old, and that's a 2-year-old. Totally different product. So let's crack on and lift these, shall we? There we are, so halfway through. Just having a bit of a breather on the back, as they take some work, because look how far down they go. But yeah, the jar of corms already full up, so I might need to find something bigger to put the rest in, but yeah, let's carry on. All out, and that's where we're at, all of those, and obviously the first ones. So you can see there's sort of a whole range of sizing there relative to size of hand, and something like this where it's grown as second year, it's really has bulbed up, so that gives us plenty of those. Now I keep reiterating the same point, but basically I retain some of the rounds for replanting, and they can become my second year one if I choose to do that. Alternatively, you can then strip these apart and that will give you cloves. I would always say, let's set the camera up to make it easy. Actually, I'd always say before you store these, make sure that you give them a proper clean up, because they have a lot more segments and skin than a garlic does, and so it's definitely going to harbour more potential pests. So let me just show you on that. Right, so excuse the side profile of the knee, but so basically we've got our elephant garlic like that, and you could store it as is, but well, you can already see there's a bit of moisture dripping out of that. You don't know what's in it because it tends to have these tears within the outer layers, if you like, so all sorts of things can harbour in there, and all you need is, there, right on cue, something like these little slugs to be stuck within that skin, or the layers of skin, and they will work their way through that because they have no other food to entice them out. And you also find additional corms within it, and you're just going to literally take off one or possibly two layers. You know, worms, again, you don't want, well, one, you might as well put the worms back in the soil, but you just don't want anything that's going to cause a loss to your hard work. So we've done one layer. You can see there's more bulb formation there of a corm, so we might as well just take off one more layer, see where we're at. And you notice all I do is I strip from the top of the leaf down, only go so far as where you can see there's some obvious signs from the development of what could be new bulbs for you. And then where you get a big piece of the skin like that, rather than trying to split it down, pull it off in one go, just divide it up. It comes off nice and easy and gives you a lovely looking bulb like so. And that is elephant garlic for you. And that is that. That's video done on harvesting elephant garlic. Yeah, I won't do the normal one that shows look how massive the bulb is, because look how massive the bulb is. But yeah, video done. If you've got any questions then on when to harvest, how to harvest, please send the questions to me. I'll have a look. I don't know if I've done a video on me planting elephant garlic, but if I have done, then I'll enclose a link on that for you as well. But if you've got any questions, then say please send them over to me. It's always good to get asked different questions, and there's never a silly question. So yeah, just feel free to message me. If you've liked the video, then please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that reminder button so you don't miss out on future videos. And above all else, just have fun. And if you've not grown it before, maybe try growing a bit of elephant garlic. You haven't got to grow as much as I do, but you know, just buy a packet in the autumn, and so you know, plant a couple around your plot or in your garden. So it's lovely. So till next time, bye for now.